Hey everybody. Hey Space Cadet. You are first. You can spend your channel points and lock it in. Where is it? First. There. It does nothing to lock it in. But you can do it. Don't let anyone ever tell you you can't. Just that you can. Already out of stock. Oh, what, really? That shouldn't be possible. If you were... It should be once per stream, and it's a different stream. But okay, yeah. I'm guessing it doesn't refresh, maybe, or something like that happens. Well, don't let Twitch tell you you can't. You're still first. All right, so creating player and enemy battlers should be merged as much as possible. Start adding components in a knit. Get summons to face the correct direction. I think we should probably check in what I've done so far. Yeah, and then change all the stuff afterward. Ah, you did have to refresh. Cool. Hey, Macaboot, excuse me. Missed an O in your name. You did it. All right, we get the grid position of where you are in battle so that we can tell which positions are still available. We should test out whether you can keep summoning. Test whether you can summon after stuff has died. Oh, it's for that reason that we probably need summons to just disappear from battle completely. I didn't think about this. So there are 9 battle slots. But if a character dies, it may leave a body. That body would take up a slot. Maybe you can summon, I don't know, whatever. I don't know how much of a problem this is, but I think it's something that needs to be considered. Allow for summoning on the slot of a dead/temporary character. E.g., we may have a death animation that... Oh, we could just fade out the character after the death animation. Or maybe we just fade out characters after their death animation plays. That may make more sense. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, well, then let's keep looking through this. Okay, so the battler's node being inside the instance suggests to me that this should be passed in now. Let me think about this. So you're moving between rooms. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if it matters. Although what would happen, the adventurers need to go from room 1 to room 2. Room 1's battle system exists. Room 2's doesn't exist yet. Well, there's nothing saying it can't exist. I think it should actually be part of the instance. Okay, yeah, I'm fine with this. All right, then let's change around the code a little bit. We'll pass in the battlers node and projectiles node. Or maybe pass in the instance and let it have a way of getting that stuff itself. Has its ID here. We could just have the battlers node in the... Let me think about this. Get node battlers. Yeah, I want to change it around. I still think this is probably worth doing it in cleanup, though. Is it time for cleanup yet? Pass in either the instance or both the battlers node and the projectiles node to the battle system, since the battle system won't own it. In an instance or something's not a system, it doesn't act on specific. Since it's not a system that acts on entities it finds, but rather ones that are passed in. This is possibly an academic problem. I don't know. I'm going to hold off on that for a little bit. All right, let's keep looking through this and make sure that this code at least makes sense for now. We have 30 summons going on here. I don't want that. Take adventurers out of battle. Set is in battle to false. Yeah, this can be changed. We can do for each node, or actually for each adventurer in battler to adventure dot values. Is that a function? No. There. Yeah, let's go try that out really fast. Okay. So we start a battle. Try starting another one. We don't have any adventurers. We click win and then start a battle. We click lose and then start a battle. Why are they spawning like that? That worries me. And that definitely worries me. Yeah, okay. This is wrong. There's a ×2 that I applied somewhere. Here, get position of battler. And this is wrong apparently. Get grid position of battler. Oh, there's a ×2 here as well. There, problem solved. I hope. Let's try. So start battle, good. And start battle, good. Yes, all of those are correct. Now, what about the summons? Something's going to be wrong because there's a ×2 somewhere. No, that ×2 is correct. How did we get? Oh, I see. I think I see. Okay, we got to put summons back in for a sec. So summon some stuff. You figure it out. Except for it's what, forest bat? Yeah. Oh, and I need to summon a bunch of these. All right. Well, I'm not writing out a for loop. It's easier to just duplicate the code like that. Did it work? It did, but I accidentally summoned them for the enemy. No. I'm gonna die. All right, I meant to summon some for the player. Let's just summon them all for the player. I just want to make sure they're being positioned correctly. Yeah, they are. Okay. They're facing the wrong way. That's something I gotta fix separately. So now we have a grid position in here. I think this is fine. Yeah. It does kind of make me wonder if we should just pass in the battle team component. But yeah, I think this is fine. All right, what changed in the instance? It's all just a bunch of deleted code, right? Yep, pretty much. Oh, this can be deleted too. Wow. Normally I like removing code, but this is relocating code. I put it all in here, and now this class is nearly 400 lines. So I don't like that part of this, but I'm still going to be cleaning this up. There are also some magic numbers all over the place. I guess search for all 3 and 9 instances of 3 and 9 and replace with constants. Hey, Hef. Hey, Joss. Welcome in, both of you. Hope you're having a good day. We have gotten summons to work, but I need to clean up a lot of the code, and we're going to do it in stages. Oh, yeah, delete all this now. All right. Yeah, like this is, whew, this is ugly. Where is it? Where's the merge part? Not this. Also, summon should be changed to use this newly merged code. Yeah, this is this is ugly right now, but I gotta fix that up. Get adventurers apparently is never used. No, it is used. Is it? Oh, but I said I don't know if I want to use it. I still don't know how I feel about that. Store which adventurers were passed into the instance so we can delete get adventurers. However, it may still be a good idea to keep around. If summons persist, then we need to move them along too. Okay, I gotta just answer this question. Should summons persist between stages of a battle? I could see a class like a, I don't know, imagine like a necromancer class that has a golem companion. You wouldn't want that golem to just exist in the very first round and then not the later ones, right? Yeah, so I think they should be allowed to. They should be allowed to. In which case, let's just make them all persist by default. So it'll be battle system filter team.player. Cannot implicitly convert to an adventurer. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, but these need to be adventurers. Oh, darn it. Oh. This is a problem. Yeah, this is a problem. We need a way to create a battler from an adventurer or from an existing battler or from an enemy ID. Oh, all right. Yeah. This is going to be a little bit challenging then. So then we can't get rid of that function for now. Persist summons across stages. Eventually, we'll just want the option to do this, not force it to happen every time. Well, we might want the option to do it. I don't even know. All right, then let's change this. Can we use expression body per method? That's not... Is there like use property? There isn't. Oh, there it is. Replace the property. Yeah. Okay, now let's put this in. There, done. And it should have changed this automatically, right? Cool. Yep, so this is ugly, this is ugly. That's fine. This is a little weird. It's also a little weird. But in general, it's not too bad. I don't know why it keeps deleting this stuff, so I'm just going to check this in. Oh, I also got to make a new branch. Git checkout dash b summons. Remove, what is this? Remove packed arrays or something? Tile data. I don't actually know why Godot keeps trying to do this, but it must not matter much. So I'll just check it in. Great. Now, final time I'm going to look through this. I know this code is not the best yet. That's why we just made a new branch. I want to make sure nothing's like egregiously wrong. Everything's looking pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Add foundations for summoning. This is still rough around the edges, but a summon function now exists, although it's never called. Yeah. And then I guess publish branch will be at the end and then close out the task that we have. Well, we got our work for the afternoon. Okay, I think this is the hardest work. So let's tackle that first. Battle system. So right now we initialize a battle with adventurers and with an instance ID. And from the instance ID, we get the enemies. The problem with this is that you might have summons on your team and they're not adventurers. They're battlers. So battlers come from either adventurers, enemy IDs in an instance, or summons from a previous stage, in which case they're battler objects already. Yeah, is there anything adventurer specific we do? Yes, there is. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, well, I mean, we could make like a union type of all, or not a union type, but a type that is any of those things, and then know how to construct a battler from any of those things. Or, yeah, so let's write down some options. Option number 1 is pass in any of those types, e.g. list of adventurer or enemy ID or battler. Option number 2 would be to have the caller construct battlers and just pass those in. How hard would that be? What actually makes this a battler? What do we get from the adventurer stuff in here? We need to know that it came from an adventurer. Oh man. We get their abilities. We get their texture. We technically get their name, but that doesn't really matter. We get their health and we get their stats. Yeah, well, option number 3 is have instance track this stuff. I think I'm leaning toward this option. Have the caller construct battlers and just pass those in. But how will it know to construct them? I guess there's an initialize at the very beginning where we turn adventurers into battlers. Then we have the battlers and we can just use those. But even that isn't necessarily true, because if we don't have this, and we need this so that we can figure out, so that we can just set that you're not in battle anymore. So we can't just pass in battlers. We also need to know that they came from adventurers. We probably shouldn't have a map of this then. Battler to adventurer. Probably need a battler to have a component saying that it was an adventurer. Some like corresponds to adventurer component. And it just has a reference to the adventurer in it. That way we could get rid of this. That way we could just take in battlers. That way the instance could set all this up. Yeah, I think let's try this out. This is why I'm glad I committed, because now I can just make changes willy-nilly. Is it a class without an extension? Adventurer is a class that extends from a Godot node, which is how many of these things work. But I use our component system to add in anything specific to adventurers here. So in this case, for example, we have, where is it? Should be an adventurer node somewhere. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Adventurer component in it. I didn't realize it was this far down the class. But yeah, this is where we set any adventurer specific stuff and we just add it as a component. So I can do the same thing with a battler and just add that it came from an adventurer. And I think this will be reasonable. I mean, I want to try it out. So we want to initialize. This is going to work. I want to pass in all of the battlers. Yeah, we want to pass in all the battlers. That's what we're going to do. And do we even need to differentiate players from enemies in here? No, we don't. Yeah. Why not make a battle entity and use the base class for adventurers, summons, and enemies? Because adventurers exist on the overworld and in battle. Battlers only exist in battle. So if you have battler as a base class, it'd be a little bit weird because it's like you're adding extra functionality, but this entity, well, okay, let me put it this way. This is part of the reason why people end up with composition instead of inheritance, because with an inheritance structure, sometimes you want properties of things that don't align exactly. Like you have class A that has properties X and Y. You have class B that has properties Y and Z, and then you have class C that has like X and Z. So now, how would you set up an inheritance hierarchy for this? And you probably wouldn't. You would probably just make one like general class, and you just compose in the properties either X, Y, and or Z. And that's essentially what our entity component system is doing. Is it's a way of us saying, you know, an adventurer has these 3 components, but not those 7. And a battler has, you know, these 22 components or something. They're not that many, but yeah. So we got to change this. Isn't this fun? We got to change this to just take in battlers. And they're just nodes. And we're getting closer and closer to what... We're getting closer and closer to what this all used to look like. An eyelash on my tongue. Oh, man. I wanted to watch, but my hearing operates at 20% efficiency. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. I'll type it out. Go to sleep. There. Gross. Finishing my tea. Does your tea come in a juice box? Oh, there's so much to change. It could be. I don't think so. Sounds like a lie. All right, so battlers can just be set to this thing. What is it? Collection. Yeah, I guess it could just be passed in as a collection. Battlers equals battlers. Oh, everything's going to break. Oh man, I already moved this stuff. So we're going to take in an adventurer and we're going to get out of it a battler. And the instance is going to call this? Yeah, I guess let's delete that for right now. And this too. And this will just take in battlers. Collection node battlers. Okay. So we put this back into the other class. I'm going to get to something that I like here. We take in the adventurers. We have a stage number. Let's include all of these things that we had from before. This shouldn't be needed. Let's not worry about that for right now. Battler to, what is it called? Battler to adventurer? Yeah, let's not worry about this. And that, and that. Oh man. All right, yeah, let's just comment. We can't actually comment this out. This has to just be an empty thing. So future stages aren't going to work here, but that's all right. We'll get there. All right, so then this can be deleted. The positions of battlers. Couldn't I have just... let me think about this. I wonder if this is steering me more toward option number 1. Just pass any of the types and let the battle figure this out. Find a remember to write down the collection suggestion. Took me a month to post it. I don't think I did. You need to do typecasting for method signatures. Only problem with this is you don't get notifications about the iterated collection being modified. We definitely should get notifications about this. Yeah, well, all right. I'll have to think about some of this later. I think for now, I'm gonna just still code things this way. Um, yeah, my thought process was I'm moving a lot of code. Okay, so originally today, I already moved code from instance to battle system, and now I'm moving it back to instance. And the reason why is I think battle system should just take in the already made battlers. All right, let's just see where this is going. Hey, Grace, it's going well. I'm I've got a good amount of work to do today, but think it's I think it's under control. I think by the end of today we'll have some pretty good stuff. I think it's a lot to get done in 3 hours to do all of this stuff. So we'll just see how far we can get. But we'll probably get the majority of the list done. And I can just tackle more of it tomorrow and finish this stuff up. All right, create player battlers. What are we doing? Get grid position. Yeah. All right, let me just copy this out of here. Does it even use anything inside? No, these are just constants anyway. They're incredibly simple constants as well. All right, I'll put those there for now. Adventurer data, sure. Battlers, so battlers. So bad. It's so bad. Oh, wait, this won't even work. Oh, whoops. Yeah, this won't work. Yeah, because getting the grid position. Oh, no, that part would work, I guess. We just don't have the grid position of empty slots at the time. Okay. Was it hard to implement? The main reason I hesitated is I thought it would be too complex. I'll just read the code later. I did end up being pretty involved, I think. But maybe it won't be so involved after I end up changing some of this. All right, let's see what we got here. So create player battlers and create enemy battlers. We eventually need to do this one at a time. How will the battle do this itself, though? Yeah, I guess I can figure it out. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm just gonna run wild here and then eventually clean all this up. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That's how refactoring usually goes. Just scorch the path. All right, now this is no longer an instance. Cool. So the only error that should be in this function should be at the very end. Yeah. And this is only needed when we initialize this system. And I guess at this point we do return a collection of nodes. These are battlers. And we do what we used to have here, collection node battlers equals this. Then add them here, return them here. All right, now we're creating player battlers. We need to call this. Yeah, battlers, I guess. Is there a concat? There is, but there's also add range. Do you know what the input is called when you do that? I want to bind it to a hotkey. Yeah. That is not at all straightforward. I really struggled to find it, although that was when it was experimental. Now it's just called quick search. This command ID. Quick text search. Sorry. Yeah, I pasted it in the chat. But it's great. I love it. And I think one of the best tips, by the way, is if you're going to use it, if you don't want this menu, just press tab enter and it'll put it into the old menu. And then you can iterate over the results with F4 and shift F4, or at least those are the default shortcuts. Yeah, hope that helps. All right, initialize battle system. We want the player battlers. And then we want the enemy battlers. Yeah, upgrade VS Code, which you probably should be doing regularly. I think they're pretty safe upgrades. Now we get this. Oh, why did that work that way? There we go. Put this down here. And call that as well. Create enemy battlers. Pass in the ID in the current stage. Oh, Poetry, thanks for resubbing. All I have to do is answer a question every now and then. Thank you. Oh, I've broken so much. It's all broken. We shouldn't be that far away from working code, though. Just got to do things one step at a time. Okay, now what do we end up with? Basic attack, enemy data. So I think we have it set up. Player battlers, concat, enemy battlers. Cannot convert from an IEnumerable to a collection. Can I just do 2 list here? Sometimes I hate this. It's a collection anyway. Oh my goodness. Because this returns an IEnumerable. This returns a list. Is there casting to a collection? Do I even need to do that? I don't really care. Let's just take in a list. Oh, we can't do that. Unless we also made this a list. Although really, it doesn't make a difference at this point. But how do you do this? IEnumerable to collection. You can use 2 lists. Overload of the class collection. Oh, you have to make a new collection out of it. I see. Okay, let's do that for now. What was the error? I don't know. I'm going to fix this stuff later. Collection node all battlers equals new collection. Can I just say new? And do I even need to do this? I do need to do that. Hey, we did it. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot I could just do it that way. Do var they autofix? Oh, then autofix, yeah. I do that for other things. In this case, it was I didn't know how to convert the types. I need to wrap it in the collection constructor. Okay, so I think the things that should be broken now, everything should be broken going between stages. But ideally, it's not broken now for the setup. Let's try it. Yeah, let's try it. Then I gotta merge this logic anyway. Battle system is still trying to get the position of stuff. Oh, for summoning? Oh, man. Drat. Okay, what if we let the battle system do the positioning? Yes. Yeah. Battle system does the positioning. Okay, we're getting there. This is very roundabout how I've done everything. So we put this back over to here. We delete all of this, by the way. Yeah. Then this is going to break, but that's fine because we're just going to delete it anyway, right? This is players. And we just don't have a grid position. So stupid. So stupid. And we need this for the team thing? Oh, man. Well, it really doesn't belong in battle team component, so we'll have to put that somewhere else. But yeah, I guess we're deleting that for now. So I guess we're deleting it from here too. Maybe I should just make a new component. Alternatively, I could just delete this from here and just have this be a public set. Yeah. Let's try that for now. Again, just breaking everything as I go. We will eventually not have broken everything. Okay, same thing here. This is for the enemy stuff. Grid position is not needed. Cool. So now there are no errors, right? Public should come before private. How did that get down there? Oh, I just pasted those two in the wrong spot. Okay, no errors, but now this stuff needs to be done. And we do that here. Okay, so battler dot, I guess we get the grid position first. We won't know how to do this. Yeah, we won't know how to do this. We just, Okay, well, here's, I can think of a bunch of ways we can do it. I'm just trying to think of what's best. Because the grid position that we get is based on whether you're a player or an enemy. So like, okay, let's just code it one way. So we'll just do player index is 0 and enemy index is 0. And get the grid position. We need to know which team they're on. So team equals that. So now team equals team.player, player index plus plus, or enemy index plus plus. Now set their position to be equal to this. Delete that, delete that. Node does not contain a definition for position. Technically, I guess battlers are node 2Ds, not just nodes. Yeah. All right, well, we can just cast it. We know that they're node 2Ds. Actually, we could just cast it down here. All right. I think that should do it. I think now when we start a battle, we should see everything we just saw, except for going to a different stage should fail. Battle system line 131. Oh, yeah, whoops. I didn't fix this. Grid position. Yeah. This should set the... Oh, wait, right. Nothing's setting the grid position now. Whoops. Okay, then I guess we need to get the battle team component. BTC. I don't actually care to use this. Yeah. Then set the grid position, I guess. Yeah, in fact... There. Now get position of battler makes it sound like we should just pass in the battler or the battle team component, I guess. But for now, I think that's good. Okay, so should be good. Should be able to start this. Okay, looks like battles are working fine there. Now what happens when we beat this phase? Probably it's going to break because I never actually made that work. So now next stage, it's this stuff. We got to initialize it with the same battlers that we had, but with a different current stage. So this is where we would call create enemy battlers again. Where's create enemy? There it is. Oh, and now we don't need the stage number in here, which is actually we might. We might, but we don't for now. And we don't need that there. Don't need that. Don't even need to initialize with a stage. What? What did I just do? I got rid of instance ID? What is any of this? Oh yeah. I'm like, what am I looking at right now? Yeah, what I need is this same thing as what we had over here. So player battlers are not going to look like that anymore. It's going to be battle system.filter by team, team.player. Does this only give living entities? No, it can even get dead ones. All right, that's going to probably be a problem. Make sure dead entities, dead summons don't revive themselves in later stages. This just gets team members, not living ones. Not going to worry about that yet, though. Cannot implicitly convert from an IEnumerable to an IRead-only list. Well, we can explicitly convert. You trying to tell me you can't do that? A node to adventure. Oh, this can just be node now. Actually, it doesn't even need to be node. It needs to be battlers. Not going to be battlers. Hey, coffee. Because he's trying to call from team has no members alive. Yeah, but I need to move adventurers, whether they're dead or not, but not summons if they're dead. So I've got to change that a little bit. What was I just about to do? Oh, yeah. This returns nodes. And what do we pass in when we initialize this? Battlers? No, it's nodes. What am I talking about? Yeah, they're nodes. So this is just a collection equals new. Yeah, I guess .to list. And then we can simplify this, right? It's not offering to simplify it. I could have sworn we could, though. I thought it was like this. Okay. So now we have your adventurers. Now we get this, and then we just combine them all. Right? All battlers. Do we even need the stage in here? What is this used for? The position. Okay. Whatever. All right, I think we're good. Actually, this wasn't too bad, but this actually wasn't even the task I was trying to do. So we start a battle. Looks like it's going fine. Wait for stage 1 to finish. It's broken. What is this? Cannot access a disposed object. I guess because we deleted everything down there. And oh, darn it. This won't work. This won't work. Oh, you could just not dispose the objects, I guess. If I just don't do this, I would need to delete any enemies from the first battle. Yeah. So if ecs.get component, if the team is equal to the enemy team, then free it. This is ugly, but it might work. Oh, it did work. Yeah, it's just that doesn't get sped up, huh? Hey, we can't lose the battle now. What happened here? Cannot access a disposed object. What is trying to access this? Team has no members alive. Check for end of battle. Team has no members alive. Why is that failing? 298? Why is that failing? It's only done from setup systems. Suggests that these battlers don't all exist. I must be passing in ones from... how does it make sense? It's only in subsequent stages that this matters. So I'm getting all of the players and I'm creating new enemies. And I'm setting this to both of those and passing those in. So the players will always exist. Why are the enemies not working then? Yeah, I don't see a problem. Well, guess it's time to debug then. So we'll call that check for end of battle. It's this that's returning. It just means that battlers must have been disposed already. Well, all right, I said it was time to debug. Let's debug. This is going to get called 2 times normally. Oh, it gets called many times normally. Okay, then let's put the breakpoint here instead. I think that's only called when an enemy dies or when something dies. So there's that. That should be fine. We hit play. Should be fine over here too. And now it shouldn't be fine. So it's going to break in one more time. Good. And now this is apparently broken. If I do all health component.is entity dead, it should complain. Yeah, object disposed. So why? Oh, we can't even do that. And this is for the team, the enemy team? How's that possible? The only thing that disposes these is this right here. It disposes the enemy ones. But that's done through setup systems, and I don't think we're in setup systems right now. If we are, then that's the problem. No, this is coming from process abilities. How could this have been cleaned up, though? Maybe we're alerting a battle system that no longer exists? Doesn't make sense, though. But I guess it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Battle system listens to this. But then why wouldn't it fail in the second phase? It's only when the player dies. I'm not sure about that. Let's put a printout here on battle death handler. I want to just see what happens here. Hey, Crud. Trying to shift from a creative role to a dev role. Any chance you'd give me some feedback on my portfolio site? Yeah, there's a chance, but you'd need to send it over Discord. I'm not going to take a look right this second. And actually, that way other people could chime in too. Although I don't know. Well, I don't know. Up to you if you want other people to chime in, I guess. But good luck with the shift. I've seen... Actually, have I seen people do that? I guess I've seen people go from like product management to development or vice versa. Wait, that got called twice. It got called a third time. Yeah. That's happening exactly the number of times it should be. I'm not sure why this is happening. Because the only thing that disposes this is here. Freeing an enemy. Plus, I guess, child. I don't know exactly what that's going to print, but I'm hoping it's some kind of hash code or something. Man, this is one of those things that wasn't supposed to be tough. And I'm probably missing something minor here. It should free right now. Yeah, good. And then it frees again. Wait, I won that battle. I think it's when I lose the battle. Well, that's broken too. Oh, man. Threw it up in Discord. All right. Yeah, thank you, Crud. Yeah, I'll probably be able to take a look tonight, but I can't guarantee it. But by tomorrow, I should be able to take a look. Yeah, the set in battle part I know is missing. That's why it's not freeing up at the end. We have, I think I have the entire function commented out. Where is it? Yeah, this. I have the entire thing commented out because I don't have battler to adventurer any longer. I wanted to store that somewhere else. Yeah, let's just go make the thing I said I was going to make. The, what's it called? Corresponds to adventurer component. This is a dumb name, but whatever. We can rename it later. So let's just go save this as corresponds to adventurer component. Put this here. Adventurer. There equals this. Cool. So this should go in here. When you make a battler, we are going to add a component. New, I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. All right, so then in the, how do we do this now? In the battle system, in order to go through all of these, we really want to go through all of the adventurers you have on your team. So for each node battler in filter team player, get the corresponds to health component. Actually, it needs to exist. So I guess we do that first. If, just get this, CTAC, let's just call it C, equals get component or null. Good. And then if C is not equal to null, C dot adventure is in battle equals false. This is fine, except the is in battle comes from somewhere else. It comes from the adventure component. Oh boy. All right, fine. ECS dot get component adventure component C dot adventure. Yay, we did it. Converting null. Oh, whoops. All right, that should put him back in, like, not into battle. But the problem is actually still that if the enemy kills me, then it crashes. So are we gonna win or lose? We lost, and that's when it breaks. Thanks, coffee. Yeah, Quickie Joe's made that. Why does this happen? Well, how about we test the thing I just did? Let's make it so that we win, which means we just grant a bunch of money and then level up the adventure a lot of times. I click grant items, grant money, level up adventurers, give ourselves a bunch of skills. Oh yeah, look at that. Super fast. Because when we crit, we do 24 damage. So when we win this, we should see the adventurer appear in town. They do not. Uh-oh. Does anything even call this function? Yes, which means I broke this function. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, I guess let's set a breakpoint on that. Are these getting created correctly? Create player battlers. When we defer this, we just get the same battlers that we had. I should probably also rename this before I forget. Player battlers. I don't see what's wrong here, though. We add this component to the battler that tells it that it's got an adventurer. And then in the battle system, we get all the ones that are owned by the player. We get their component. If it's not null, then we set that it's not in battle anymore. All right, let's put a breakpoint here. I haven't tried that coffee, no. Hey, you know, when you pick up a new language, how do you go about deciding what your code editor you'll be using? I don't think my code editor generally changes now with whatever language I'm using. I guess there are some very minor exceptions. No, there aren't really any minor exceptions anymore, I guess. It's pretty much just VS Code for everything. Yeah, I've used it for a whole bunch of different languages. I guess there's some cases where I might not, like Java. I feel like I'd probably go with what's it called, IntelliJ. But that's about it. Oh, and then yeah, GDScript. I wouldn't use GDScript again, but if I were, I'd probably use the Godot editor. But that's only because I think it's like super buggy with VS Code. Yeah. Yeah, but in general, it's just VS Code for everything. I don't tend to use other languages now at this point, and when I do, all the ones, I think pretty much everything I've done since starting streaming again, I've used VS Code for. Just looking through this quickly to jog my memory. When I do the code gem in, yeah, that was VS Code. Yeah, everything I've done has been VS Code since I started streaming again. Debugger feels better. Yeah, that makes sense. And if a tool works for you or doesn't work for you, by all means, find a new tool or stick to the one you're using if it's working for you. Like, I'm not trying to say other people should do the same thing I'm doing. But I like VS Code and I like having the same shortcuts for pretty much everything. All right, let's break into this. And I think we can just call this immediately if we just say win the battle. There we go. So yeah, what is going on here? We should have one battler here. Yeah, so dot first, I guess. Got it. Then you should have components. Get node components. And then one of your components should be a corresponds to adventurer component. Yes, which has your adventurer, which it does. What? What is going on then? C is not equal to null, and then it should be in battle as true. Is this true? Yes, and then I set it to false. And now it should be false. Okay. Am I forgetting something else, I wonder? Invoke 1. Battle ended. Yeah, this just sets your battle stuff. It's weird. I don't see a problem here. I don't know what's going on. When do you decide to deviate from your normal editor and tools? Yeah, that I think is when you feel like there's something lacking in your normal editor or tools. It's like what Artifact said, the debugger is better in Visual Studio for them for C#. Totally fine, makes sense. Maybe you have better auto completion, or maybe just the language is much more natural to use in a different editor. The reason I mentioned Java, for example, is because I think Java has just so much going for it when you use IntelliJ over VS Code. And it just felt like I'm doing more typing when I'm using VS Code. But yeah, I think Java benefits a lot from like really thorough tooling. I don't know what's going wrong here. I don't know what's going wrong with either of these bugs. There are two bugs. Oh, wait, is the rogue not even? Oh, there's the rogue. Okay, there's the rogue. We put them into a battle. They go away. We win the battle, and they should reappear, and they don't. I wonder if there's something else controlling visibility or something. Maybe that's it. Maybe there was something else then that did this. Oh my God, there was. It was called set isn't battle. I just made up what this was. It was supposed to just be c.adventure.set is in battle. The reason why is that this sets your visibility back to true. And all I was doing is controlling the Boolean. So there's the Boolean, and I forgot to do this stuff. I just forgot that was a function. Okay, well, that answers that question. Thank goodness for source control. Let's try this out again. Although I'm nearly positive this fixes the bug. So our adventurer is not showing in town. You see nothing with green hair over there. We click win battle, and there's the green haired adventurer. Start battle, win battle. Start battle, lose battle. Lose battle doesn't actually break it in this case. Hey, mate. Yeah, this is a corn keyboard. And thanks, Toulouse. So I've got to take a break, but where I left off is figure out why when we lose the last stage, the game says we're trying to access a disposed object. I just don't know what would be disposed at that point. And I'm not freeing anything else other than in this function, right? This is a question for post-break me. Oh yeah, right. We can just use the null propagation. Dev is only as good as their troubleshooting skills. Well, technically, if you never hit any problems, you don't need your troubleshooting skill. I would say Googling is part of troubleshooting, though. I think it all falls under the category of how do you fix a problem once you have one. But yeah. Okay, I gotta take a break. I kind of force myself to take breaks because otherwise I would just keep barreling through this for like 3 hours and then get burned out. So I'll be back in just a little bit. Is it jump time? It's jump time. All right, again, for those who've never seen this, just type join. No need for an exclamation mark, no capital letters. Just join, and then here are the instructions. You got 33 seconds to learn them. What program am I using? I'll answer all this stuff when I get back from my break. In short, check the FAQ. Be right back. hey again, everybody. Close the game. So, Mister, you asked what program I'm using. I think you're talking about this. This is VS Code, but you might be talking about the game engine, which is Godot. I'm just not sure still why this is happening. I wonder, let's try this. Let's start a battle. Let's have it get to the next phase, and then let's lose in the second phase. Does that also cause this to happen? Yeah, it does. What is going on? Something must still have a reference to a battler that doesn't exist. I just don't know how that's possible. We free all of the enemy battlers here. But it's the player that we try. Oh, then we try accessing. Maybe it's on a different battle system. Okay, let's try something else then. Let's print something out here. Hey, Blue Horse. You can't join through YouTube, just FYI. Doesn't look like jump works. Should we update the jump command? I don't remember the syntax. I thought it should work. I should probably try that next time. You'll have to remind me to list. You don't actually have to remind me. I'll write it down. See if jump works in Jump Royale. And if not, update the jump command. Yeah. Hey, Water. How you doing? Long time no see. Yeah, I think it should just check for the first character. Oh man, how did I get to the position I'm in? Yeah, I have an idea though. I don't know how likely it is that this will actually be correct, but gd.print initializing battle system plus this, and I want to put this here. And then I want to do the same thing from this. So if battle system is not equal to null, then print freeing battle system. Yeah, let's see, maybe that'll help. Love the rare ruby cut wedding band. This is just silicone. Wish there were better times. We can discuss that at length another time if you'd like. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Walter, and I hope these times look up. You know what they say, time heals all wounds. Okay, so initializing battle system and then freed that battle system. Freed an enemy. Then initializing a new battle system. I forgot a crucial part of this, which is to print out which one of these things is looking for the what, living? Team has no member alive. Yeah, this one. Oh, except for I can't do it through here. I need to check it. No, I can do it through here. Yeah. Checking for team members alive plus this. There it is. Now we can try that out. Start and increase speed. And just let this run. Hopefully I lose the battle. It looks like it could go either way. Ah, good. I lost. All right, now what is happening here? Battler, death event handler. Wait, what? Initializes. What is this? Where's this coming from? Did I add this? I must have added this. I don't remember doing that. Battler, battle system. I don't know. Doing it today? Still magic after all these years? Yeah, I think we're still going to make good progress. And either way, I think we're not going to be stuck for so long. These are not unsolvable bugs or anything. Just realized that. How are you, Adam? Nice to see you again. How's your holiday? It was really good. I have a quick vacation command here. I went to Spain. It was about 3 weeks long. We went to a wedding for part of it, and then we went on the Camino de Santiago for the other couple weeks. Walked like 200 miles, got incredibly sick. Oh, I thought you typed jump. Doesn't look like jump works. We should update the jump command. Maybe. Oh. Oh. Ecom jump. All right. My bad. Gift. Solus. There we go. Odd element with almost every aspect of programming. Well, you can always understand again. I can help. Did this print out? I'm a little bit confused here because this code never even seems to get hit. Oh, maybe because the thing we're trying to access is the battle system? Oh. Maybe that's it. No, it would fail before that though, right? Oh, this is different. Health component take damage. I think I don't know. I don't know what I think. Let me just delete this thing though. Maybe, but yeah, see, there you have it. You're still an expert, just like how I'm an expert at Dutch, but neither one of us can ever prove it. So deal damage is checking a health component. Line 168. Man, I still don't know how I got in this position. Of a target taking damage. But yeah, the target doesn't exist anymore. Oh man, I am... Battle system plus? What does that mean? Oh. Hmm. Oh, maybe they all have the same health component at this point? I thought I tested this though. I think I subtly changed the semantics here. I think what's happening is that there's an old subscription left, but I don't know how I would have just changed that here, and I even had this in mind the whole time that I was working on this. Weren't we using the same adventurers the whole time? Then we were initializing them again. What did initializing them again do? Maybe I just never tested this. Maybe I did break this. Yeah, I think it's resubscribing and not removing the previous subscription. But I'd gotten around this before. Also, why doesn't this create a problem? Oh, because each enemy is dying and then getting freed. Okay, so this has to do with oh, so I bet if I died in the first stage, it wouldn't actually be a problem. Let me see if that's true, because if so, then I think I understand this. Yeah. Okay, that's the issue. Oh boy. That's why I started delegate. Oh yeah, I know. And then I did something that made it not necessary, I think. But then I made it necessary again, I guess. Hey, Syntonic. All right, let's delete all this stuff. And maybe we have some stuff to delete here. Yeah. Okay, so if we had a different health component each time, we could go back to the code that we had before. You know what? Let's go back to that for now. I'll have to look through the history to find it. How much RAM is VS Code using for you right now? I don't know. Where even is VS Code in here? There's probably a bunch of, I don't know if code helpers for VS Code, but there's probably a bunch of little plugins and stuff that's being used. Code. It says 150 megabytes for just code itself, but then yeah, there's a lot of like, where did that, like this code helper? I don't know if that's from that. I don't know if there's a way to check inside VS Code itself. It's like Chrome has a way of doing that. What was I gonna do? I was gonna look through the history of this file. For whatever reason, I can never find the history. There it is. Yeah, it was this code. Okay, so let's put this back in for now. This goes above here. I'm only caring about what order it goes in so that it doesn't change a diff across many commits, which we'll never end up doing. Now we just call subscribe to on diet event, battle system. There. All right, that should fix this issue. Process Explorer. Oh, neat. Code main. Yeah, so it looks like about 330 megabytes. Huh. Did not know that was a thing. All right, so start battle, and now speed this up. And then we force a loss. And is it working? Yeah, it's working. Yay! You have the C# extension installed? Yeah, I do. The C# and C# dev kit. All right. So we fixed those issues, but the main issue is this one. We need to merge this code as much as possible. Now the problem is it exists across two different classes. So how do we merge this? We should probably have like an add battler. An add battler should probably do these things. Set the position. Get the health component subscribed. Add that, yeah. So private void add battler. Node battler. And now we just do for each node battler in battlers. Got it. So now we delete this. This, well, I don't know how I feel about that. It's going to have to change. But now this goes into here. And the only problem we have is that we still need to get the player index and the enemy index. So this needs to be an empty slot for the given team. Oh, wait, we have a code for that. Well. So vector 2i grid position equals get empty slots. First, should always be an empty slot. I guess if there isn't, we're going to have a problem. Then just set the grid position to be that. Stage number. Stage number we'd have to pass in. Should be a way to fix that at some point. Oh, you know what? No. Let's save this off. I think we're going to need this anyway. Private int stage number equals nothing. Who cares? And set this here. good. Delete this, and this. Make sure to set this. And there we have it. Tried using it the other day. I was using an insane amount of RAM. It could be a bug in one of the analyzers. Well, it sounds like a bug if it just keeps climbing. Maybe it's stuck analyzing something and it just keeps fetching more context and that causes an infinite loop. You could try disabling some of the functionality maybe, or checking on a different code base, like open up a hello world code base. And if it seems to work there, then it seems to indicate some analyzer specific bug with your code base. So now everything should call this. When is it projected to be hitting the shelves? I've got a quick thing here. When is it launching? And it's just this TBD, hopefully 2024. Trying to learn to code. What's the best program to learn with? When you say program to learn with, program here could either mean like the language, the editor, or even the like means of education. So maybe you mean like a YouTube tutorial versus like Udemy versus a textbook or something like that. Which one are you referring to exactly of these things? Do I enjoy working with C#? I like it, yeah. I think my criteria for languages now is it needs to be statically typed and no, not C++. I think that's pretty much it. Those are my requirements for whatever language I use at this point. I just don't like C++. Granted, I have not tried it in the last, I don't know how many years, but I just don't ever want to use it again. But yeah, when it comes to non-statically typed languages, if you're talking about like Python or JavaScript, I don't mind using them for like less than, I don't mind using them for like less than 50 lines of code. If you're writing a quick script to do something in your shell and you have to write it in Python, whatever, sure, that's fine. But yeah, I think once they get to be a little bit longer than that, then I want statically typed languages. And the reason why is if you look at a function like this, and that's literally the entire program, it's pretty easy to tell if there are bugs in it. But if you have, 400 files and there's a type issue somewhere, it's pretty hard to tell where that is. A little bit of all. Well, I have something I wrote down a long time ago that might help answer some of this. Because unfortunately, the short answer is whatever works for you. And what that means is what's going to keep you motivated and what's going to be effective for teaching you the right things. So for example, what's going to keep you motivated could be like only game development maybe, or maybe you want to do web dev, or maybe you want to, I don't know what that would be for you, but that's pretty important for learning so that you actually want to continue. And then what's going to be effective if you asked, your 3-year-old cousin to try to teach you programming, that's not going to be effective, but it might keep you motivated. What's the problem you want to solve? Are you asking Mister or are you asking me? Because I don't even know what I was just doing. Oops, oh darn, I closed chat. Why I'm all over the place today. Okay, so we moved this. But yeah, now summon. I haven't taken a look at this in a while. Summon needs to make a battler, and it happens to do it using an enemy ID. But then couldn't the instance do this too? Do we have a battle system? Yeah, we have a battle system in both of these cases. So there's no reason why we couldn't use this. And I think it might make sense that creates the battler. Seem to have very few tabs. So when I try to close them a lot, I have shortcuts on my keyboard for close all tabs to the right, and I try to use it a bunch. Okay, I'm starting to see this come together. Is anything in here instance specific? Let's take a look at what's being accessed. This is, and that's it. So just this battlers node, and that's not super important. Now, what about this function? Same thing, just battlers node. Okay. I think this belongs in the battle system. Can summon be moved out of the battle system? What does this use? Get empty slots, that's battle specific. Get position of battler, that's battle specific. Well, technically not battle specific, but kind of. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can move these to the same spot. Oh. I still want to write down some. I'm not going to finish it today. I should just give into that. Health component should ideally not have to subscribe multiple times. There has to be a way to work around that. Maybe we just subscribe at the instance level. I don't know. Hey, Lois. I want to say I appreciate your stream. Have it running while I'm working. We're essentially pair programming. Imagine if you start typing the code that I'm writing into your repo. Imagine if it works even better. But I'm glad you appreciate it. I really, really enjoy streaming, and it keeps me on task. It keeps me sane, and I think both of those things are really valuable. Take care, Darkstorm. I hope you sleep well. Yesterday, I got into a little bit of a bad state because let me see if I have a picture of this. I guess I can't really share this, but anyway, I did something different for breakfast. I had it while I was in bed, and then the cat came over and sat on my legs, and I'm like, well, now I'm just stuck here. And I spent a little bit too long just laying around playing Picross or Nonograms. And I got a bad start to my day as a result of that. But if I'm streaming, that doesn't happen. Actually, I say that, but the other day the cat came and sat on my lap and I just stopped coding. So I guess the cat's the problem. All right, I think I'm going to move this stuff out. Let me see where this is called. We just call this once, we call it here. What does init now do? Just takes in the battler and the stage number. And if we initialize with nothing, we could just call these functions ourselves. Then we need the instance ID. Water. Means the kiddos want to play. Yeah, and those little things that can change your routine, I think they can be very detrimental to programming specifically. I mean, if you're in the wrong room to do a task, then that hurts any task. But at least for programming, it's like if the cat comes over and wants to play and I take 10 minutes off to do that, that's enough time to forget what I was working on completely. Yeah, so the reason I'm so torn about this is because I feel like there's a little bit of kind of cross-contamination going on here. I'm going to put this back to where it was. In here. And then we're going to make these, I guess, public. Well, they're only public so that the instance can call them. What if the instance didn't have to call them? Okay, I have a new idea. What if the battle system constructs any battlers it doesn't have, and you just pass in the ones it does have? All right, now that I can get on board with. All right, let's do it. So now when we initialize this, we do need to pass in the instance data. So instance ID, put that here. Instance ID, instance ID. Good. Then we call these things. Oh, we need to know that you don't have any adventurers. Oh no, we could just know that it's stage 0. Yeah. Yeah. If stage number equals 0, I guess then we need the adventurers. Oh, darn it. I'm so torn. All right, let's undo this. But we could pass that in and then also pass in the starting ones. So torn. All right, let's try this new way. I'm gonna probably think about this a little bit more tomorrow. I mean, I'm still gonna be working for today too, but I just don't like where this is going. Do you plan to work for Fang in the future? I hope not. I hope to just be able to do this the rest of my life, but that is probably a tall order. I believe that I'm interested in back-end web development and game development, just trying to slowly transition to something more interesting in my life. Yeah, the nice thing about both of these is that there is no cost for either one, and they're very like quick to set up. I'm not saying they're necessarily quick to learn, so please don't get me wrong there, because if you think, oh, this should take a day and it takes you longer, you might get demotivated. But they're both super easy to just get set up. You have a browser already. You've probably played games in your life before. And when it comes to web dev, how you should learn, it's very tough to say because there are lots of different ways you can approach this. Some people approach from the basics of like learn, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and other people dive right into frameworks or they go right to TypeScript or something like that. When it comes to game dev, I would say that the easiest way to learn is just go download an engine and start their official tutorials. And generally, I think pretty much every engine has really, really good official tutorials. So this is a very straightforward way of doing things. General advice is don't pursue your dream project as your first project. Make sure you're actually learning and pursue some project so that you generate problems, which you then solve and learn. Walter, what are you? I don't even. You're better than this, Walter. Yeah, the whole don't pursue your dream project first. The reason I say this is, at least with game dev, I feel like there used to be this meme of like, oh, hey, I'm new to game dev. I want to make a new MMORPG. And it's like, that's just a bad idea. It's just a bad idea for so many reasons. And the main thing, if anyone wants some, evidence of that, is while you're doing any major project, even if you're an experienced developer, let's say you're spending 5 years working on something, you're going to learn a lot. And the problem is, if you're brand new to stuff, the amount that you're going to learn is going to be so much that even 1 or 2 years into that project, you're going to be like, oh, I've messed up the entire foundation of this code. So wait until you've got enough experience that the difference between the 0-year mark and the 5-year mark is not as stark as when you're a beginner doing all of that. Because again, I think a lot of people don't appreciate how much motivation plays a role in any side project you're doing, and that most of your side projects will just never get done to begin with. So you need every little benefit you can get. And the hardest thing I think you can encounter is, hey, this isn't going how I wanted it to, and you just let the project fizzle out. That's so hard to overcome, because at that point you're like, I'm already demotivated and it's probably a ton of work to fix up your code. Am I going to try bigger engines? I don't know for sure. I might try Unreal at some point. And yeah, that's why, as dumb as it sounds, if you're going to make games to begin with, try something like Tetris, try something like Snake, try something like Pong. Like, these aren't going to be amazing games that you make, but you're still going to learn a ton, and at least it's a game, and you could say that you made it at the end of it. All right, did we get this working? Because if we got this working, then we're finally to the task that I was trying to do originally, which is merge all of these functions. And that might be a bit of a challenge. Let's try this out. So looks like battles are working. Let's see, do they get to new stages and work just fine there? Yep. And then I don't know if we're going to win or lose this battle, but I want to test both. That was winning. So now let's try losing. Just force a loss. And then we'll force a loss in the second stage. Okay, looks like everything's working. Now, I did not test summoning. So let's go test summoning. Summon, how does this work? I love how it's just, the AI makes up an enemy ID. It was saying, what was it saying earlier? I don't remember, but right now it just said slime. And like, I don't think the word slime appears in this entire code base. So I don't know how it comes up with that stuff. What's my dream game? It's a good question. Um, I have some like vague ideas of what qualities it would have. There's a game I just absolutely love called Kirby Air Ride, and more specifically, there was a city trial mode in it. And the way this worked is you were, racing around these stars and you got these power-ups, and the power-ups helped you in this mode. So if you got this, you'd move faster. But then also there was a mini game at the end, and depending on which power-ups you got, you might be better or worse at that game. So if you got a bunch of top speed and it was a race, then awesome. But if it was a battle and you got a bunch of top speed, that might actually hurt you. This sort of game is it's so cool. And unfortunately, the game was a GameCube game. It's not like it ever got patches or anything. And it was just one city and all these power ups and stars and, no content updates or anything. I think it would have been super cool if this were just a game you could still play and it was maintained and updated and everything. I don't know if that's my dream game, but it's just a fun game. Slime is a universal enemy in RPGs. Yeah. Sometimes it's a friend. Sometimes you ranch them. All right, so now the summon code, the create enemy, and the create player code is all pretty similar. So now we got to go consolidate those things. Every time I went to my cousin's house. Yeah, and that game, I think it technically had 3 modes. 2 of them were racing and one of them was that city trial thing. I was not a big fan of the racing. I just really, really liked city trial. And then because it was made by HAL Laboratories, Smash used that same concept of like collect power-ups in the middle of it. I think that was only done on the 3DS version. And I thought that was pretty cool too. Do I like games like Civ 4 Colonization? I haven't heard of Colonization, I think, and I've never played any of the Civ games. I think that if a game is too complex, I just kind of tune out. Like, I don't want to learn games at this point. I want to play games. So all the factory games fit into that same category for me. Like Satisfactory, Factorio, they're probably great games, and they just feel like work to me. So I don't like playing them. I'm gonna put all these next to each other. And that way we can see the commonalities a little bit more easily. Hopefully come up with a battle plan for how to make this easier. So summon. Summon roughly works like this. Get an empty slot. Actually, don't they all get empty slot? Somehow no. But that's because add battler gives you the empty slot. Oh, interesting. So then this doesn't need to do this either, only to know that you don't have any. But it could just not position them and everything would be fine, except for we're calling add battler here. Okay. Yeah. Ideally, I want to shoot something in the first 30 seconds. Yeah, and there are some really good games out there that unfortunately have very long intros, like Super Mario Sunshine, for example. I think it's a fun game, but man, it's like 5 minutes before you can actually play the game. It feels, and a lot of Zelda games unfortunately fall in this category too. I don't exactly remember how long Wind Waker's intro is, but it's like, man, there's not an involved story in Mario or Zelda, so I don't know why they need that long. Yeah, it's Factorio, Atom, Netflix, Google. I guess Sunshine's story was a little different, right? You were mistaken for Shadow Mario or whatever. And then you watched an entire court process play out over the next 3 hours. Okay, so get an empty slot, use it for positioning, get enemy data, fill out health component, and stats, set up abilities. Yeah, so that's summoning. What is player battler? The player has pretty unique stuff, and then we actually need to convert an adventurer into a battler. Yeah. And then the enemy is pretty much the same as a summon. Okay. Let's see if we can combine at least these two. So if I do this, then I can cut out this code, this, this, this. I guess we could just make a thing here. Public bool has space for battler. Yeah. And ideally we wouldn't even be calling this here. We'd be calling it from the ability itself. So imagine if instead of typing into fireball right now, whoops, it's not fireball. Imagine if instead of typing into fireball, I was typing into like a summon skeleton. You could do something here like if battle system dot has space, then summon. Otherwise, you could have some like fallback ability. And it's this that allows you to check ahead of time. So the caller would probably do that. Although maybe not always. I guess having that here is fine. Okay, so now make a battler, get its enemy data, set up its health and stats, and then set up its abilities and add it. Okay. I think the way that some of this works is very weird. I don't think there's a need to call init for this. This just calls add battler anyway. Like, what's the point? So we set the stage number. We could init this beforehand and then just do this from... Oh, wait, but we don't know what battlers are going to be in there, right? But we don't need to. Yeah, okay. I'll write that down for later. Maybe don't pass in... Wait a sec, what? All right, stats stuff. Take a look at that. Do we have any positioning logic here? No. Why do we use I here? That shouldn't be used anymore, right? No, it's not. Okay, so we can change this to a for each loop and save one line of code. I'm really just trying to consolidate this in any way that I can right now. Adventurer, adventurer, in adventurers. All right, now we can delete that. There. Okay. We get the health and stats from the adventurer, and we have to clone them. I also have to add in some other stuff here. Battlers know to add child. This happens everywhere too, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, yeah. Well, not anymore. This now goes into add battler. We're going to get as much stuff cut out of here as we can. The debug color modulation thing, this, maybe I should just delete at this point. It was really just intended to differentiate the enemies a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to delete this because I think it's just complicating this for no good reason. Color instance ID. Okay. Trimming this down even more. Init with their abilities in their, yeah, okay. Battlers.add battler. Yeah, this can be simplified too. But we need to restructure how I do this. Put this tab over here. So I would initialize the battle first and just pass in nothing. And then call these things. No, that's all right. Pass in player battlers. And then call add enemies. Yes, like that. And then over here, we don't do any of this stuff. We do this. Yes. Good. All right. We're getting there. Now we do have this, I guess. Yeah, sure. But then in create player battlers and stuff, we don't need to return anything from here. We can just call add battler. Make that void. Same thing here, make this void. All right. Okay, so we've cut out as almost as much as possible. Can we get rid of a knit as well? No. I don't think so. And then what's different between summon and this thing? Hey, Progs. I want to thank you for providing wholesome and goal-oriented software dev content. Someday when I get hired as a web dev, I know it'll be partly because of you helping me stay on task. How nice. I really appreciate that. You know, I feel like I had kind of a stilted run as a streamer because I streamed from 2015 to 2020 and then took a huge break and then returned about like 7 months ago. And it seems like a lot of people, at least recently, have been talking about what I was doing back in 2015 to 2020 and not what I'm working on now. But a lot of people talking about Botland lately. And I think it'll take some time, and I think it'll take actually launching Skeleseller. But then, yeah, I feel like this will be the foundation for the next wave of the stream and of people hopefully having some positive influence from this. Yeah, you're all bots in the end anyway. So, of course, you'd talk about the land that you're from. Okay, does this look practically identical at this point? Instance data.enemy ID. Health component is just get this from the enemy. This is the same. This is just a different ability. So setting up the stat is basically the same. In fact, maybe we should have a utility function just for that then. Could we do it for here too? Not quite, because I guess it comes from the adventurer. But we could have something like private void add enemy, or like, let's say this. Well, let's just call it something. Add enemy data to battler. It should just know what I want here, right? Node battler, enemy data, enemy data. This could be an enemy ID. I think that's fine. Enemy ID. Enemy ID. Now let's have it type out that function for us. Good, good, and good. Yeah, cool. So now we can call that function here. Enemy data to battler. Battler there. Oh, and then we needed the sprite frames path. Oh, God. All right. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I guess we have to do it this way. And then we do the same thing from summon. I'm trying to get summon to be practically identical to this thing so that at least we can get rid of that too. There. Now, the other part of enemy data is that we should technically get the abilities from enemy data as well. And then I guess we could do all of this a little bit differently. Yeah, we just pass in abilities. All enemy data. We don't have abilities here, though. Okay, I think if... Should there be a default ability of just like a basic attack? Probably. Hey, Shuvrolo. Yeah, probably. But that means we need to take in abilities in here. Okay. Yeah, let's go do that then. So what does this take in? Collection of base abilities. Enemy data. Just going to need to modify every single one of these. Not a big deal, right? All right. So new basic attack. I guess all of these are going to have that. Yeah. Yeah. So we could make, oh, we could just make the summon work as part of this. Yeah. This is all coming together. So just trust me on this. So let's have it summon a volcano bat, I guess. Yeah, so this add enemy data. This should also add in your abilities. How's that work right now? We initialize with the abilities? Initialize with team and enemy data. Okay, we can do all the init from there too then, right? Init. Ooh, this shouldn't be here. These functions should be like 4 lines now. Yeah. Okay, so we just need to get their abilities. I guess we should probably pass in the team here. Enemy data, init, new fireball. Node doesn't contain init. Because this has to be a battler. Which means we now need to cast these. Ugh. All right, let's just have it start with basic attack right now. We should pull this from the right thing. And I haven't done that yet. All right, don't need stage number in here. In fact, I don't know if we need stage number anywhere now. No, we need it for positioning. So it's used from that, yeah. So it shouldn't be the argument to any functions anymore, except for init, just that one. But this shouldn't be needed because we have this. Yeah, so now get position of battler is going to be broken. It's only called once? Oh, yeah, because we consolidated it. How nice. Okay, and then one last thing we need to do is pull the abilities from enemy data. Enemy data abilities. Do we have to clone these, I wonder? How do we do it for the get cloned abilities? That's for an abilities component, though. I don't know how this works. Yeah, I don't know how this works. What do we do with your abilities? We make a new collection out of them. But the abilities themselves, do they store anything? Oh, I think they do. Oh, man. Okay, I have an idea. We have an ability called Rage. Yeah, what if we had 3 enemies versus 1 player, gave them all Rage, and made sure that they had different values? Because I'm not actually sure that I'm doing this correctly. And this would be quite an insidious bug. How does this work? How do you clone abilities? Oh, there's a clone right on it. Did I code this? Well, would you look at that? Hey, Darth Maul. Called in sick today. Are you sick? Because surprise, I'm your boss. Thought you gonna lie. I hope you get better. Either because you're sick or because you're a liar. But I hope you get better either way. I think we need to clone these. Yeah, I think enemy data should be cloned here. All right, so collection base abilities equals new abilities. It's a little bit weird. And then, actually, this is dumb. Let's do it this way. For each base ability in abilities, add the cloned version of that. And then copy over the cloned ones. Does not contain a definition for abilities. What do I call it? Oh, lowercase? Lowercase. It should fix itself. There we go. Get migraines, and one of the triggers if I get bad sleep or no sleep. Oh, man. Yeah, that's rough. Sorry to hear that. I guess you are sick in the head in some sense. Well, I hope you feel better this time just for being sick, not for being a liar. Yeah, I myself just recovered from a sickness, and I just always have this thing hit me during it where I'm like, what if I never get better? Not like, what if I die? Just what if my cognitive ability stays at the level that it is, clouded by sickness? I don't mean I hope they go away forever, although that would be nice. I just mean I hope this current one passes and that you have, you know, a smooth enough time, as smooth a time as you can have with a migraine. Because, yeah, I know a couple people with migraines. They're pretty severe. Am I going to be this way forever? Yeah. But when you're sick, really, it's like, I don't know, it's a little spooky. You're just trusting on processes you don't control in your body to recover. Is this like in Space Jam when the fellas lost their abilities to play basketball? Yeah, we need Michael Jordan in here to cure migraines. All right. How are we looking now? Yeah, so now these are the exact same function, right? All enemy data I get, they're just pulling from a different place, but otherwise they're doing the exact same thing. So instead of summon, we should rename this to add battler by enemy ID. And that's it. That's all we have to do. Now when we create enemies, we're just calling that function over and over. And we call it with team.enemy, instance data enemy ID. And now we don't even need this to be a for. Wait a second, why is this even? Oh, my bad. Never mind. Hey, Brown. This is Godot. Unreal. No, I don't think the person's trolling. I think my title gets cut off. I think that's why so many people are asking. Is this muted? Yeah, my title I think should be C# and Godot, but I don't think this shows up for everybody, especially not on mobile. So I think that's why enough people have been asking today. Last time I was here, you were looking at feedback on an RPG you were making. Yeah, I don't know when exactly that was, but you might be thinking of Idle Ascendants, which if you kind of consider it's like Skeleseller v0.01, and now we've sort of launched v0.1, and we're working on v0.2, I guess. Yeah. All right, well, we have definitely consolidated this part. I don't know if there's anything in here that could be consolidated as well. Like, we don't set the name of enemies. We could. In fact, should we? I don't know. It doesn't matter. What is this? I guess this is the same for both of them. The adventurer component. Add stats from the adventurer. Initialize it with these things. Battler. Yeah, this is C# and VS Code. Yep. No, don't worry about it, Brown. It's okay. Like I said, enough other people came in and just genuinely asked about what I'm coding in or what I'm coding. For anyone who's wondering what I'm doing exactly, I actually could just show you, I think. It's been a little while since I've tested this. I hope this works. I do think we need to finish merging this though before I finish showing this. Let me see. Really want to cut down on anything unique that create player battlers does, because it's more code that could get out of sync with what enemies do. So everything there should be unique. Okay, so this is called Skeleseller, and the amount of dev time that's gone into it is about a month and a half so far. So it's a very incomplete game. But you run this town, and you have adventurers that you've hired, and they can do battle for you. That is totally broken. One sec. What did I do here that's wrong? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. This is in a init. So init is being called with 253. Enemy data. Is something missing from here? No, that looks fine. Enemy ID. What did I do wrong here? Force bat. I don't know what I did wrong. Huh. Yeah, it does kind of look like Dungeon Village, I guess. Let me see if I can find the issue here. What have we been doing? Enemy data sprite frames path. That should be what now exists over here. Yeah, sprite frames path. There it is. And then where did that come from? All enemy data.get instance data.enemy ID. And now what does it say? Data. All enemy data.get enemy ID. Enemy ID is passed in there. Oh, weird. Instance data enemy ID. I don't know what's going on with that. Let me debug this. Huh. Yeah, very strange. Must be something going wrong in here. Okay, let's take a look. Enemy data should have a sprite frames path. It does. I didn't mess that up, did I? No. And then we init it here, and we set that right there, yeah. Huh. No, it breaks when you do that. What? It looked like it was set correctly. I don't understand what's wrong. Did I change this line? T-res. Oh, I didn't change this line. I don't understand what's failing. Let me try that one more time. It's this right here. Sprite frames path is assets monsters bat sprite frames.tres. That should be there. Assets monsters bat sprite frames.tres. Yeah. What? I don't know what's wrong with this. It's failing on this line. Yeah, and I can't go into that code. Huh. The only thing I could think is that init is being called before ready was called, in which case this sprite doesn't exist. Okay, it's probably that. Yeah, it's probably that. Okay, well, that makes a little bit more sense. Why is that a problem? Because of this? Add battler needs to be called after init. Oh, man. This is a mess. I guess we could try doing it that way. Although I don't like how this looks. And either way, that only fixes one of these. Create player. Create player doesn't have the same problem, does it? No, it should have the same problem. Yeah, this should be called here now. Wait a sec. How did this ever work? No, that doesn't make any sense. We would have had... I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to try this one more time. Final Fantasy, My Life as King? I haven't heard of that. Still broken. Value cannot be null. Is this the same problem? Yeah, Battle System 258. This is a problem with the team component not existing in here. Oh, whoops. This is a different issue, I think. Where is the team component? I just want to show you this game. Where do we add this? Oh, we don't? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Oh, I just got rid of this completely, didn't I? Add battler. It doesn't know what team to add this battler to. And that's all the stores now, isn't it? And a grid position. Yeah. Oh, this was supposed to be player. It doesn't really make a difference though. Battler, add battler. Oh man. Yeah. I don't have the team stored in here. And I can store it. I just need to do that. Yeah, I don't do it anywhere. Oh, we could just pass in the team, but we wouldn't have it here. Or we could set the team in each of these. Huh. Yeah, I have to call in it before adding those. Okay, fine. Let's do this then. So ecs.get component battle team component battler.team team, and then make a new one of these. Battle team component btc equals new team and grid position. And then add this to the battler. Wait, are both of these trying to use the same thing? There we go. Yeah. Now, what's the problem here? It doesn't take a constructor that takes 2 arguments. Oh, it can now, I think. Be nice to be able to find all just new instances of this. There's one. I think that's the only time we ever do this. Oh, and Knit does this? Are you kidding me? Oh, man. No, we're not doing that anymore. Yeah, it can know the team ahead of time. Let me take a quick look at this. Where did we call initialize on this? Yeah, code cleanup. I know I've been doing this pretty much all day. Enemy data. It's called battler.init. This should have been done before. Oh, I see. We got a problem either way. Okay. Yeah, this is a little bit of a mess. All right, let's delete some things. Take in a grid position. Grid position equals this. Then delete that. Delete this. We're getting there. We are getting there. Is that all the errors? Add enemy data. This is no longer needed. And what is this for? Team. Don't care about that. All right. Yeah. Dereference of a possibly null value. Not anymore. We did it. All right, let me take a look, see if this is working, show you the actual game. Then I got to take a break, get some water. Please work. No, how dare you? Now what's the problem? Same thing? Oh no, now it's the health component. It doesn't have a health component though? I guess this is the problem from before, which is that we only had the health component in here. Yep. Yep. So we can only do that after initializing this thing. I think we still have a problem with this. Add enemy data is what calls init. But init requires the sprite to be set, and the sprite isn't set at that point. I mean, I don't think this should be in init, probably. Yeah, we should probably just put the stuff in here. Oh, but then we don't have the sprite frames path because we don't store this anywhere. We could save that off, but... All right, I need to think of a proper initialization order for this stuff. I guess our options are save this off, and then in ready, set this. Or make sure this thing was added to the scene before it's been initialized. But then we need to decouple this that we have here. Add battler is what calls all of this. And this is what calls ready. But we can't add the battler unless we have data, and init can't be called without ready being called. All right, I'm gonna untangle this by doing this. I'm just gonna save out the sprite path. I don't know if I like this. Oh, whoops. Okay, so now this stuff can go down here just fine. And this can go down here. All right. I think that should have untangled it. I just want this to work again. We're running into the same issue? That the health component doesn't exist here? Oh, but now we can call things in a different order, right? I didn't actually change that, did I? Add battler by any enemy team. Ready, yeah. Oh, this has just been a mess. I wonder if I am just not doing the most elegant solution for any of this. I still have it broken. Oh man, this time it's a different line. This time it's here. But what is the problem with this? Value cannot be null. Parameter component. Kick component of 2 calls into battler. 54, 65. What is it? The health component? The battle team component? Update rendered texture. Where's that done? Oh, that shouldn't be done here. That should be done down here. Actually, same thing with life bar update. Life bar won't exist yet. It's just that's the value. Anything else that I'm missing here? I guess all of this can be done from ready. So now all we're doing is setting 2 things. Add the abilities. I finally did it. I finally did it. Okay. Let's set a little bit of this back to normal, and then I will actually demo the game for anyone who's still here after that amount of time. Where is the summon that I have? Oh, there it is. Add battler. Team. We do this at the end so that the summon comes later, but let's just delete it for right now. And there we go. So Skeleseller is a game where you run a town and you sell items, but you don't actually get the items yourself. You hire adventurers. They go into battle. And when they win that battle, so if I just force a win here, you'll get items in your town. And then you've got a worker, and any of your adventurers will go and restock the items in your shops. And then these customers that are wandering around can go and buy the items. And with that money, you can upgrade your adventurers and they'll level up and you can get skill points for them and hire new adventurers and eventually get into bigger battles. And yeah, more stuff going on. I like how that fireball is shooting to the left. That looks like a new problem. That's fine. Well, my characters are going to win this first battle, but then they're going to lose the second one. No, the second one's not even going to work. How fun. We're trying to add the same component multiple times. Entity already has a component of type battle team component. And where might you be coming from? 57, 260. Oh, I guess that the battler didn't already have a component. Okay, yeah, this is the problem with this, huh? This is why the battler should have it. Which actually now it probably can. Oh, this has just been a mess. Yeah, this has just been a mess. Yeah, cool. Now we delete this. Delete this again. So we don't do this. Which means we're going to need to get the battle team component. Battle team component. And that's on the battler. btc.grid position. Yeah. There. Now we don't need to add this. We just need to make a new one at some point. Or no, we just initialize it with the team, which I probably deleted from here. I did. That's fine. Good. Yeah, good. I'm going to try this again, then I'm definitely taking my break. So we should be able to advance to new stages here. I'm just going to speed this up. Good. Now I should lose. Yes. And I'm going to try one more time and we're going to hopefully win. Although nothing actually makes us win, so I'll just click the win button. Yeah. Now there are 3 errors here. Can't add rogue to battlers. Already has a parent. All right, well, we're going to have to fix that when we come back. I'll be right back. I got to grab some water. Can use the bathroom, and I'll be back in a little bit. Is it jump time? It's jump time. again. Close the game. So we left off trying to fix this bug. Can't add child. It already has a parent. Where's it coming from? Battle system 271. Let's add battler. Which is coming from 57 init. Why is this a problem? Instance 122. Go to next stage. All set up systems. Oh, I guess the... Oh, hi, Abby. Hi, girl. Yeah. I see what's happening. Oh, no. Please don't type over my code. Give you a blank buffer. Want to come over? Good girl. Good girl. Okay. You sit down. What a good cat. She wants attention. I think it must be like a time of day thing, because this happened the other day too when I was streaming. She's just like, I haven't seen you in a while. Hi. Check out the Abby command. There. I just wanted to type this in so I could show you her cute little face. What a good cat. She's purring very loudly. All right, you want to sit down? Can I code? Yeah? I think she just wants attention. Oh, no. You don't go onto the keyboard. Yeah, it looks like it, but that's just her normal face. Okay. You rub your face against there. Just love this cat. The eyes are so green, yeah. I gotta stop switching back to this buffer. I'm like trying to get... Come on over. Just sit down. Just sit your butt down. All right, let me undo this. Oh, come on. Just sit. You're gonna kill my productivity, aren't you? Although, actually, I've been streaming for pretty long today. But I wanted to do some more. I might just have to kick her out in a little bit. All right, what is going on here? So we added this character to battle, and then nothing removes it? But couldn't I go to a battle from before? I don't remember. Now, let me close out of some of these things. I don't even know how I have 2 instances of this open. Where this... Oh, this is... Close the game. There we go. Different game that was open. You having a good time? All right, so if we click win, what happens here? That's fine. I won in the first... Oh, man, I can't do both of these things at once. I won in the first phase, and then I lost in the first phase. So I think it's only when it's in the second phase. And it's probably even just when it navigates to the second one. Like, I don't even need to win the battle, I'm guessing. Yep, that's the problem. Okay. Do you want to get off the desk? She's like, no, I get attention when I'm here. You get attention when you're here, too. Oh, you won't let me work. Yesterday, she was sitting with her head on my leg, but in such a way that like it was super warm. It was actually kind of nice. It was a little chilly. All right. You want to debug code? Here, let me see if I can zoom out without moving her off of my lap. No, I can't. Gonna show part of the green screen, but that's okay. Come on over, Abby. There. Now they can see you. It doesn't look like I'm petting nothing. Hi. Is it true that they're sterile? I don't think so. I think they still need to be fixed. What a good cat. No. So yeah, what caused this to happen? And what should be fixing this? It's only when they move to the next phase. And then we call add battler even though they already have a parent. But the only way we can add something new is, oh good, she left. Oh, thank God. Okay, I do love that cat, but I do want to get stuff done. We get the player battlers. Set up systems, should delete them. I guess it doesn't free the battlers. It needs to unparent them though. Yeah. And I'm not actually sure how we do that. Maybe just remove child. Dot remove child. Child. Can you unparent something? Is there like remove from parent? I'd expect it to be an unparent kind of thing. I guess there's get parent and then remove child on the child. That's pretty much the same thing as what I have here. And this is just the battler's node anyway, right? Yeah, which I already have down here. Okay. Then let's just write this. I think that'll fix this. But yeah, I think I've got a whole bunch of problems that are going on all at once. Today did not go how I expected, and I'm not super bummed by it. I wanted to make a little bit more progress. But if this is how much work something takes, this is how much work something takes. Yeah, good. This is working now. Yeah. All right, well then let's do this. Let's grant money and spawn 3 battles. And through this, we should have every possible outcome happen, I think. My characters die ever? Yeah, good, cool. Yep, it's working. I'm so excited for this game. I know I'm the one making the game, but I really like the ideas that are here. I love this concept of characters only having 2 abilities at once. So it's very easy to understand at a glance how this character works, and they only have synergies amongst themselves, basically. But then with each other, you form a party out of these little building blocks. And I like that idea, and I think if the game presents it well, that you'll do some solo battles for like a little bit, and then you'll start doing pair battles, and then you'll slowly work your way up to like 5 character battles. And then maybe some amount of creativity exposes itself, like your builds might actually matter. And maybe not. Maybe it's just a laid back game and there's no losing. This all seems so precarious. All right, so the final bit here is create player battlers having anything unique in it. So is there something unique in it? We have health and battle stats, and that gets cloned over from the adventurer. We have the abilities component. We do call init in both cases. In fact, I kind of think that the battler should just clone the abilities themselves. Yeah. Because this makes an abilities component out of this. Yeah. If I'm going to clone it anyway, then I guess this doesn't need to exist. This probably never even gets called anywhere else. Nope. And all it's doing is going through and cloning them all anyway. Oh, hello again. Here to kill my productivity? All right. This cat requires a ludicrous amount of play. So I wonder if that's what she's really trying to signal here. Also, if we leave her alone with these toys, she just destroys them. And the toys are not that cheap. And we know she likes a very particular one, so we... So we bought her 9 of them last time, so we got a slight discount on buying that many. Do you want to... Oh, just want to destroy things? He's licking my arm. He's like really licking my arm. That's okay. That's uncomfortable now. Like a sandpaper tongue. Don't come over here. Do you want to jump up? Do you not want to jump up? Abby. Oh, good girl. Okay. Can I do work now? What breed is the cat? It's just a calico cat, which I guess is technically a tabby cat. She's great. And I love her very much, but I might need to kick you out so I can get this done. Did she just have Yuzzy? What? How'd she even do that? The Y and U are on the opposite side of the keyboard from the Z. I want to watch the VOD for that. All right, please let me work. Yeah, I just want to change this one bit. Okay. Okay, Yuzzy, will you leave me alone for right now? Or at least sit down or something, but you're like right at the armrest. Yeah. Trying to communicate with you, yeah. What does Yuzzy mean, though? Do you mean Yeezy? Okay, can I put this arm here and you not bite me like crazy? All right, so get cloned abilities. I don't want this to exist anymore. But I want that. No, she does this where she, like, for whatever reason, does not like my arm being in this position. And now she's licking it. So cloned abilities, go through each ability in ability. Ah, it hurts. It hurts. Ah. She won't stop licking it. I can't do this with just one hand. Come on, cat. All right, now we want to use the cloned ability. Seriously, what are you doing? She like really doesn't like that I have my arm there. But she left. All right, so now that we're cloning them here, we don't need to clone them on the collar side. So this will just be abilities component dot abilities. And this is abilities, which came from what? Enemy data dot abilities. There. Hey, or for you. Kinslayer. You have to use a temporary function. So a lot of the time we have vegetarian food, but I have been trying to exercise more, so I've been eating more chicken. And Abby will sometimes come over and like maybe I'll be cutting up a banana or something like that. She sniffs it once and she doesn't care. If there's chicken though, she goes nuts. She just will like nonstop meow at me. And we've never fed her from the table or anything. She knows that she's not going to actually get any of it. Yeah, looks like this is working. All right. Okay, anything else create player battlers does? Vendor data is just for the texture path. Add battler. Oh, wait. This now has the battle team component, so we don't need this anymore. What is the team there for? Yeah, this can be moved to this. And I'm like annoyed at how I've been doing this. I think I just got to stop working on this in a little bit. Yeah. This isn't needed. Okay. Hooray. Now, one last thing. Can I add in all of my summons? Yeah, there. There are like 5 bats for me. Skin feels like a cat's tongue. Does it feel like that even when submerged? Like, I wonder if that would smooth that out somehow. I guess it probably wouldn't. Yeah, look at that. We got our bats. Oh, and they persist, so now we have too many bats. And they probably... I don't know how that works, actually. Maybe we don't have too many bats. Why did this happen this way? Because we'd have to do this from create player characters. Yeah. If they swim fast by you, they can take skin off. Wow. I mean, they can do worse than that by just swimming at you. But yeah, I guess even when they're not trying to hurt you, they can hurt you. So can a cat. Sharks are just cats of the sea. All right, adventurer. Create from adventurer. Is there anything else I want to get rid of here? No, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The safest things to die with as long as they've been fed. But isn't that asterisk as long as they've been fed true for like a lot of different animals? I guess there are some that are aggressive and will just try to kill you anyway. But like I think bears are apparently pretty safe as long as they've been fed. And then a lot of animals are probably safe as long as they're not like trying to protect their young or something. That's why I always swim with shark food on me. All right, I think this is done. Yeah, I'll have to change some of these things. I think we have to clean up the commit that I was working on. Clean up the commit that I was working on. And then we need a task about the rest of the battle stuff. I want to keep an instance around so I can show the results of it somewhere. I think that's going to be important. Yeah, somewhere here, I think I wrote about walking between, yeah, this. But I think we need a new thing here. They get disoriented if they bite you because your blood is warm. I never thought about that. Although this whole thing about what animals are thinking exactly, I always kind of wonder, how much do we know about that? Hi again. Just spitting random facts. Are you gonna just sit down? Come on. Just sit down. Let me work on this thing. Okay, good. Now just stop there. Good. Good girl. All right, I want to add a new task. Oh, there's something here. Why do you bite me? It's like only in this position. She doesn't bite me in any other position, but if I put my wrist near her face because I'm trying to type, that's when she's like, no, you will not get work done. All right, I think this is a P0. And I think it should be done for checkpoint number 1 as well, but I guess it doesn't have to be. Let me think about this. It's just keeping the instance around. Yeah, I think it's important. Keep the instance screen around even when it's done. I'm not exactly sure how I want this to work yet, but I don't like how there can be a bunch of blank space that should be taken up by an instance. We should probably keep the instance around with some results text, e.g. you earned 5 items from this instance, or you won, or whatever. Yeah. think I may have written this task somewhere else. All right, milestone. I think checkpoint 2, and that looks good. You never use the P0 terminology again. I like having priorities for things. I think it makes sense. I think the problem with how some companies do it is that if it's not P0, it doesn't get done. So everybody makes all of their issues P0. And I think you just need, it's like anything else, you need proper bug hygiene. And yeah, all was going well, SWAT Kid. I was on vacation for a while. I've heard of that whole push into it for dogs or for cats. She's like very serenely just laying on my lap right now. So, yeah. Yeah, P2 generally doesn't ever get done for a lot of projects. And for a project like this, that might also be true. I don't think you should avoid filing a bug just because it's going to be P2. Because some of this stuff, like, I think this is the perfect example of a P2. Make merch. If we don't have merch, will this game not succeed? No, it'll probably be fine. And if we do make merch, will people buy it? Like, maybe a little bit. So yeah, this is P2. It's not really a software development task, but I'm not going to make a new board just for like those sorts of tasks. Aren't you adorable? What a good cat. I want to get trauma resurfacing. What would you call it instead? Priority? I feel like whatever you're going to call it is just going to be something that reminds you of priority. And then your eye will just wince. All right, I think that's pretty good for today. I see Horforia. I hope I never need this information. Like, I hope my life is just free from serious animal attacks. I'm going to find somebody to raid. I got to look out for if Clayman is ever streaming. Oh, Clayman, a raid. All right, who's online that we've never raided? And also, who hasn't been online for like 8 hours? There are a couple people who've been online for a very long time. I think I've rated most of these people. Wait, who's this? Have I rated them? Well, I usually don't ever do that. No, I have not rated this person. Okay, let's rate this person. Never seen them before. Thank you all for watching. I have been doing much better this week than last week for sure. So I'm hoping this continues. I'm going to work offline tomorrow and try to get some of this stuff done if I can. And then Friday will hopefully be a normal work day. So I hope to see you all then. But thank you all for watching. Have fun in this person I'm rating. Never watched them before. See ya.